This video is going to cover two functions, manage order and refunds order. Manage order is going to list up all of your order history, whereas refunds order is designed to only show you the orders that was refunded. So in order to create a table like this, it's very simple. I pretty much use just a very few basic parameters. But before getting started, the prerequisite is to make sure that your add-in is installed, your subscription ID is added and it's activated. If it doesn't work, use incognito mode, like if the save button doesn't work or the window doesn't disappear. And also that you've added your seller nickname or your seller ID into our system or in your account in Gorilla ROI. Also, if you're in Europe or if you're in a Spanish-speaking country, make sure that you use semicolon in your formulas instead of comma. Okay, so here's how it works. Gorilla underscore manage order. It's going to show you what inputs to enter. So the first one is highlighting seller ID. So in this case, I have an account called OAH. I'm going to put that inside quotation marks. And then for the period, I'm going to do last 7 days to just load it quickly. You'll notice that I hard-coded all of the inputs in, and I'm going to do another version where I make it dynamic. But with these two inputs, the others are all optional. It's going to generate a table with all of the orders over the last 7 days, and it's going to show everything that's in either pending or shipped and pretty much every other status. You can drill down and only display the shipped if you want, or the pending, and that's by just following the highlighting on the filters to where it says status. So if I do comma, it's going to ask me for a filter, so I can filter by SKU if I want. Maybe I just want to find the orders for a particular SKU or ASIN. Comma, marketplace, you can enter, say, UK or France or US. Comma, for the status is going to be shipped, pending. And if you look in the box, you can see the different statuses that you can use. So use this information to build it. Now, I said that I'm going to create a dynamic version. So what I would do is, let's say, last 7 days, same thing, but I've entered my inputs at the top here. I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to redo it as Gorilla underscore manage order. And instead of manually typing it in like I did, I'm going to now select the seller nickname, comma, and then it's telling me for the period, so I'm going to put the period as last 7 days, close out this formula, and now it's going to load all of that data again, pretty much the same thing, but the difference is if I now want to make this dynamic and change this from last 7 days to, say, yesterday, the formula understands that the input has changed, and it's going to automatically go in and start getting all the data for yesterday. So that's how you do it. And the same thing happens with the refunds order. I did manage order, but on the refunds order side, refunds order, same thing. I'm going to select OAH, comma, and then for the period, I'm going to select yesterday, and I'm going to leave the rest blank. And you can see the documentation for all the different parameters and the fields that you can select. And so now it tells me that yesterday, all of these orders were refunded. So this way you can keep track of the refunds versus the sales. You can do the same thing now using the static queries that we have. Go into your extension menus, manage queries. It's going to open up a sidebar. And from here, you can use a graphical user interface to pretty much do the same formula. So on the manage one, the manage order, going to do that. The seller nickname is located in cell E1, or I could just type in select menu and type in OAH, but I'm going to use a cell reference and E1. For the period, same thing. I'm going to, instead of selecting yesterday or from the list, I'm going to select use cell reference for F1, okay, and leave everything empty. I'm going to uncheck this box, otherwise it's going to insert a small checkbox. Actually, let me show you how it looks like. And I'm going to insert this formula into cell A2 where I last clicked. So there you have it. So it's generated this table. Now this checkbox is, if I click it, it's going to now search and refresh the data to see if there's anything new. Just like that. And do the same thing for refunds order. Go through each one, add your seller ID, select the period or add it using a cell reference. You can select a list of SKUs if you want, and then insert it into the cell that you are selecting or that you last clicked on. So that's how it works for the dynamic formula, the static formula for both manage order and refunds order.